My name is Joe Harjo. I'm from the Muscogee Nation in Oklahoma. I moved to San Antonio for grad school, and I've been there ever since. I've been teaching, working as an artist, and my ancestors were kind of related to all of this work. My ancestors were part of the Indian Removal Act of 1830, which is where the exhibition gets its title from. It was an act that Andrew Jackson presented to remove Native people from the southeast of the United States to Oklahoma. And what was this idea of manifest destiny that the U.S. was destined to expand westward, and that Native people weren't part of that expansion. The title, American Progress, which is behind me, it is from a painting by John Gast from 1872. And it's a depiction of the idea of manifest destiny. It shows white settlers coming in from the east and moving inward. There's a depiction of Columbia, which is a representation of the United States. And she's holding like a textbook for education, and she's holding a telegraph wire, and as she moves westward, she's placing the wire down as a sign of progress and of civilization. And over to the left of the painting are the Native people in kind of this darkness that are fleeing westward and are not part of this progress and this growth, when in fact they were actually being pushed westward. So that's where the title American Progress comes from. My work in general deals with the Native experience. You know, I rely on my lived experience to talk about themes of identity, the traumas, but also the celebrations and the progress and the overcoming of those traumas that Native people deal with on a regular basis. So, and you know, I come to it, I'm standing on so many generations of shoulders of Native people before me that I wouldn't be here without. So you know, it's always big thanks to everyone who came before me. So the work, you know, I'm traditionally a photographer, but I try to let the work decide the medium that it needs to be in. And I get pulled in all these different directions from video to printmaking to sculpture and to drawing that, you know, if I can't figure it out, I find help to figure it out. So I try to be resourceful and do the undertaking that the work requires. So I'm so grateful to have the show here. And Dennis and I talked about this, but I had an exhibition in San Antonio called The Only Certain Way. And this cross piece is from that exhibition. And it's the only piece that isn't from this year. It's actually from 2019. And I felt like it needed to be in the exhibition. The Only Certain Way is a reference to the colonizer Cabeza de Vaca, who was credited as the first European to set foot in the Southwest United States, and he came as a Spanish colonizer, you know, to convert natives and really in search of the city of gold. And so he crash landed on Galveston Island. And I think at that time he only had about 4 of his men survive with him out of hundreds of men. And the local natives took care of him, nursed him to health, and eventually he escaped what he thought was slavery. But historians have kind of debunked that theory that actually what he was in was he was working alongside the women, and he thought that was slavery, which is ironic. And so he made his way into the mainland and up through San Antonio and the west of the United States. And he befriended a lot of natives and became a trader with them as he was attempting to convert them. But he was kind of known as this friendly colonizer where he would give like a warning that like other Spaniards were coming and that they would rape and murder and kill and burn villages. And the only way to stop them would be to erect this large cross. And so that's why that piece, I feel like it's at home here in Galveston. I don't want to ramble on, but I just want to say that, you know, being here, standing here in front of you guys right now, is, like I said, on the shoulders of so many who came before and that paved the way for me. It's an act of survival, and all of those people who came before me survived. So thank you very much for coming out.
That was Joe Harjo talking about his latest exhibition, Indian Removal Act 1, American Progress, on view at the Galveston Art Center from October 7, 2023 to January 7, 2024. You can learn more about this exhibition and the Galveston Art Center at galvestonartcenter.org.